Oh, oh,
Let me do this. All right. Sound should be good now. Okay. Benny, can you hear me now? Give me a nice little thumbs up or something, Hums. I just had to mess with the sound real quick. Hopefully it's should be better. I could kind of see it now. So, but man, there you go. Gracias, big dog. All right, so Total Trucker here, Wrestling Rehab. Shouts to all my junkies, my brothers in crime, Cricket from Incredible Javier, Paul from the LA Times, man. Okay, man, oh man, oh man, oh man. All right, before we get started, let's just all of us, take a few seconds, put our hand up, and acknowledge the tribal chief in a moment. We acknowledge you, my tribal chief. All right. So let's quarterback this a little bit, man. Austin Theory, he came in and immediately, homie, you know, he was just the perfect heel, right? Everybody hated him. Everybody was like, just his stupid smile, everything, the selfies he was doing and putting on social media. He was just easy to hate. And I kind of thought it made for a good heel, man. He started growing on me a little bit. My brother Paul from LA Times, he hated Austin Theory, and I think at one point he started growing on him as well as a heel, right? I said, Benny, don't worry, man. You'll come around, dog. You'll come around. You'll see at one point, dog. There's no running from the bloodline. But I this was all during Vince McMahon. And it was easy to see that Vince was really pushing this Vato, dog. Vince was really like giving that, like, hey, this is gonna be my guy right here, right? My heel, my number one heel. I'm not sure if Theory would have ever worked as a face. If he would have, it wouldn't have lasted long. Under a year, right? It wouldn't have lasted long. But Vince is gone, man. Um, I thought it was good. I actually enjoyed Austin Theory climbing up the ladder. I really did, man. I'm being real. I don't know if I should say becoming a fan of his, but I was digging what they're doing with the Vato, dog. I really was, man. Vince gets a lot of criticism, but I thought that was one good thing. I think Theory can actually uh go in the ring, and I think he can do some pretty cool freedom of things, man. And I like the fact that he was Money in the Bank. And as cocky as he is and always showing it off, and I was like, you know what? At some point, he's got to stop showing it off. He's got to start just, you know, feathering away. Stop showing him so much. Stop showing him with the briefcase so much. Just constantly keeping everybody, in mind, like, hey, is Theory gonna come in and cash it in? Nah, chale, dog. Everybody wants to be surprised, right? Well, I mean, subconsciously, everybody wants to be surprised, you know. So I thought they did a pretty good job with Theory just kind of, not really being in the picture. He had a match on Monday Night Raw against Shelton Benjamin. Um, he pretty much won. I'm gonna be honest with everybody, homie. I kind of forgot that Shelton Benjamin uh was still with the WWE. Just being real. I was listening to Wrestling Hub the other day. I got to get my daily wrestling fixing, right? I was listening to him the other day, and he was talking about Bobby Lashley, how Bobby Lashley came out and said that he wants to bring back the Hurt Locker. I mean, the Hurt Locker. The Hurt Locker. By the way, the Hurt Locker, good movie. Go check it out. The Hurt Business, right? Which was it was Bobby Lashley was the main guy, along with MVP Shelton Benjamin, and shoot, what the heck's the little guy's name? I forgot his name already. Um, damn it. If anybody could help me out with his name, I know he was pretty big in 205 Live doing his thing over there. Man, I forgot his name. But anyway, they were doing pretty good, and I like the Hurt Business. And Lashley was talking about, you know what? If it were up to him, he would like to bring back the Hurt Business, and I like that faction. That faction was actually pretty good, man. I think if they bring back the Hurt Business, they could possibly even add in Umas, if because Umas by himself isn't going to last too much longer. But anyway, let's just keep it going. So Austin Theory beats Shelton Benjamin Monday Night Raw. Okay. There you go. Cedric Alexander. That's his name. Yeah, Cedric Alexander, who's actually a pretty good wrestler, man. I like Cedric Alexander. Okay, so now, that's it. His match is over. He wins. He's going, goes to the back. Everyone just kind of forgets about him. Sure, he's carrying the briefcase around, but nobody's really thinking about it anymore. Uh, Seth Rollins is doing this open challenge, right? And you got Bobby Lashley, who, in my opinion, he should have just came out instead of having a segment on the big screen. I get it. Ali came and attacked him, and Bobby Lashley just kind of threw him, like, just swatted him away like a fly. And he says, I'll be out there, I accept your challenge. Goes out there. They don't even ring the bell. They just start brawling. I would say Bobby Lashley did beat the crap out of Seth freaking Rollins. Although Rollins did put in a little bit of offense, he did have a few moments here and there. But no, man, I mean, Lashley just destroyed Rollins, right? Now, before we talk about Theory coming in and cashing in, I am 100% digging what they're doing. This was main event, the United States Championship on Monday Night Raw. SmackDown has the Intercontinental Championship. Now, in my opinion, I think those championships should be defended at their, respectable brands and be known as like the title for that brand. As far as the main champion, which is my tribal chief, he does not need to waste his time on these little petty shows, right? Save him for the pay-per-view events. Sure, he can be there. He can come out, cut some promos, do that. But stop having my tribal chief perform in the ring on a Monday Night Raw or on a, Friday Night SmackDown. He could be there, come out, talk a little smack, let everybody know, give everybody the chance to acknowledge him. Bless us with his presence and give all of us the chance to acknowledge him. But as far as getting in the ring, nah, leave that out. Leave that for the pay-per-view. Let's focus on the United States Championship and the Intercontinental Championship over on SmackDown, and those can be defended. And those can be main event for SmackDown and Raw. So, moving right along. So, Rollins is out, man. Rollins is out. Esteban, you'll come around, dog. You'll come around. You will come around to acknowledge my and yours, by the way, tribal chief. Theory comes out, and we got to remember, dog, Theory has came out and tried to cash it in before, and it hasn't worked out for him, right? He didn't fail. He just never really got the chance to cash it in, right? When it was heck, I forgot who it was, right? But whenever he was going to go cash it in, something would happen. Somebody would knock him out cold. He never actually got a chance to hand over the briefcase and for the referee to ring the bell. So he has tried before. Oh, when it was Lesnar and the tribal chief, man, at SummerSlam. Remember, Theory came out and tried to cash it in, but before he actually got a chance to, he got, he got tore up. So he never actually really got a chance to. So that's what I was kind of thinking was going to happen right here, right? I was like, all right, Holmes, this vato's going to come down and something else is going to happen. He's not going to cash in on the United States Championship, right? We rarely see Money in the Bank being cashed in for one of these lower tier belts. But it has happened before. I think, if I'm not mistaken, didn't Charlotte cash in Money in the Bank against the NXT champion? If I'm not mistaken, that rings a bell. But it's rare, that it is rare for somebody to cash in on one of the lower tier titles. Usually it's for the main one, the top dog. So anyway, man, when he cashed it in, I was like, oh, okay, this is it. This is it. I was already thinking that, oh, okay, I get it. They don't want him to be in the main picture. They don't want him to be in the title picture for the main championship. So you put the United States Championship on him. I'm like, okay, all right, it's a step down, I guess, but they don't want him up there in the top tier, right? Triple H doesn't have those plans for him. And like my and your tribal chief said once upon a time, your daddy's not here anymore. So I was like, okay, that's how it's going to go down, homie. Never did I think. Never did I think that he was going to fail cashing in Money in the Bank on the United States Championship. Now, if people think that Lashley put a whooping on Seth Rollins before that match, chales, dog. Bobby Lashley comes back out and he just demolishes Austin Theory. I mean, look, I'm surprised Devontae's still alive, dog. I'm being real. At one point, I'm like, damn, he's end up killing him. I'm surprised Theory was still had a pulse. He beat him down crazy. And look, Seth capitalizes on it. That's what he does. And he remains United States champion, which just kind of it just kept ringing in my head what our tribal chief said to him, your daddy's not here anymore. What a debacle, man. What a way to just kind of tell somebody like, look, yeah, your daddy's not here anymore and we don't have those plans for you. So this is what's going to happen. I wonder what Theory was thinking, dog, when he found this out. Because before this, he was on his way to the top. I'm not saying he would have been the top dog, but he was on his way up there. He was going to be in the conversation of being one of the top dogs. Now, without even the briefcase of having Money in the Bank, without even the threat of him going and possibly cashing in, even if he fails, he's not gonna get that main event match. He's not gonna get in there. So without that Money in the Bank, without that briefcase, hey Holmes, I got no idea what happens with one Mr. Austin Theory, dog. I think this is gonna put him in a position, I believe, as just kind of like a jobber. He's not part of any faction. He doesn't have any friends. He's not in any real main storyline right now. He's not feuding with anybody where it really makes him relevant. Said Benny, straight trolling, Holmes. And I don't really know what kind of program they can put Austin Theory in, to tell you the truth. That briefcase with his daddy Vince McMahon gone, that briefcase still made him relevant. That briefcase still had some hope for him that he can be in the conversation. He can still be somewhere nearing towards the top. That briefcase. made Austin Theory so relevant. Now without it, I don't know where he goes. Is he gonna feud with Seth Rollins? I don't know. I doubt it. I think Bobby Lashley possibly is. I mean, is Theory gonna feud with Lashley? They're not gonna put Theory over Lashley. Come on, man. The word on the curb is they're gonna build up Lashley for that WrestleMania match against Brock Lesnar. So you can't have somebody like Theory go over on him. That briefcase meant a lot, man, in Theory's career, and it's gone. And it's gone without even having to get in there with the tribal chief, mine and yours. Got in there against Seth freaking Rollins, which is not bad, but damn, dog, is definitely, forget a step down, man. He fell down the stairs. What a failure. What a debacle, man. And I was listening to a report they who's your daddy? Well, hey, man, look, Theory's daddy is no longer there, and now this guy, he might become the Brooklyn Brawler, Holmes. He might become the modern day Brooklyn Brawler. They might just start treating him like Virgil when he broke off from $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase. What a failure. What a debacle, man. For somebody who was really on his way up, what a complete just debacle, man. So I wonder where he's at today. I don't mean, physically where he's at. I mean mentally, is he thinking like, man, you know what? I want out or whatever. So I was listening to a report today of Theory, and apparently, and I'm sure, look, take it for how you want, right? He came out and he said all the right things. He says he's better than ever, and he's just happy to be there in the business, and he just said all the right things. Are all that is all that true? I don't know. Maybe not. Right? When you got a mic in front of you, I mean, he's giving, I guess, finger quotes, the right answers to just stay in good terms. Doesn't mean it's a lie. Who knows? Maybe he truly does feel that way. I don't know. I can't call that. But I would have to think that at least for a split second, man, he's a little disappointed from where he was going to where he's at now. But man, let's see what happens with Theory. Again, I want to go ahead and say this. Look, I like Theory. I think the guy's a good heel. I think the guy can actually wrestle. He can actually go. And it's just he's losing. He's losing his relevancy. And that briefcase was like without his daddy, that briefcase was the only thing that was really making him relevant. And it's gone, man. It's gone. So he's going to have to get in a good feud with somebody. He's going to have to get in a good program with somebody, man. And look, I wish him the best. I do, man. Well, I mean, what's the best? Look, he can't touch my tribal chief. That's for damn sure, dog. The tribal chief will squash him like nothing. Right. But I mean, I do hope to see Theory do some pretty good things, man. I do, man. I think he can do I think he's pretty good in the ring. I do. So, and his character does sell. His character does make you hate him. So we'll see what happens with Austin Theory. Look, before we close it out, I want to spend a few minutes on Mia Yim. Um, as you guys know, the OC, which is AJ Styles and Gallows and Anderson, they're feuding with the Judgment Day, right? The Judgment Day has a fourth member, which is Rhea Ripley, and she's not the fourth member. I think, honestly, man, there's no leader in that group, but I guess Damian Priest maybe comes off a little bit as the leader, but also Rhea Ripley comes off as the leader too, man. There's really no leader there. With the OC, it's easy to see that AJ Styles is the leader. Well, anyway, a while back, Mia Yim was one of the wrestlers that got canned. She was one of the superstars that got fired, right? Um, she was doing her thing down at NXT. That's when I first caught wind of her, and I'm like, man, this girl is badass. This girl can go, man. Shout outs to Fontana, California, by the way, in the Insane Empire. That's where she's from, Fontana, California. So shout outs to her and her hometown right there. Um, I That's a Benny, always, homie. I never lose that. I'm always feeling oozy, Holmes. Okay. I'm always feeling oozy. And if you acknowledge the tribal chief, you would be too. Um, so Triple H brings her back, man. She made it up to the main roster when they had that faction. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I don't even remember the name of the faction that she was in. The leader was Ali, but I forgot the name of the faction. There were like these shoot, I don't know, this group that just uh didn't live by WWE rules. If anybody remembers the name of the faction, I don't even really remember it. The faction didn't last long. It didn't go anywhere. It sucked. It was dumb. Um, it didn't. There was nothing there, right? And they put her in that faction, and I'm like, why are you wasting that talent? This girl is badass, man. Why are you wasting that talent on this sorry ass faction that nobody's buying into? I think the faction started with something with an R. I completely forgot. I remember they would disrupt the programming and stuff like that, and then they come out with baseball bats and they would just like destroy. They're like anti WWE almost, man. Just there to cause nothing but chaos, Holmes, right? And that faction just kind of went under, and rightfully so, because it sucked. Nobody was buying into it. And in the midst of all that, they let her go. And I'm like, damn it. Damn it. Because she is badass, man. She is all that and a bag of chips in that ring, homie. And by the way, you guys should thank me later, but she was a model. And you guys could look up some pictures of her. Pretty easy on the eyes, Holmes. Pretty easy on the eyes. Her modeling is not the way that you see her dress in the for her ring gear. Not at all. Pretty easy on the eyes. But yeah, Bessa Benny, yeah, she is badass, man. I forgot the name of that faction, but the hell with that faction. That faction sucked. And they let her go, but now she's back. So, I guess she's linking up with the OC. In my opinion, dog, the OC kind of holds AJ Styles back. But at the same time, AJ Styles is in his mid 40s. I'm not really sure how much he actually wants to be the guy. He probably just wants to be there. I think he's got 4 kids. He probably just wants to be there and just have fun with his buddies, man. And you know, just have some pretty cool Friedman matches. I'm not really sure he wants to be the champion and be traveling everywhere. I mean, he's got that charisma. He does have the talent to do that. But I remember seeing him in an interview, and he just seems like he's just content, dog. Like he doesn't want to be the main guy, that carries the company, man. And he can be that guy, but it just seems like he's pretty content, right? So he probably just wants to have fun with his buddies and everything. And because if he's really trying to move forward, in my opinion, the OC holds him back. But now you add in Mia Yim, who is a badass wrestler. Now she joins in. It does make things a little interesting. I think she did not get a big pop. Okay, she didn't. And I think the reason for that is if you did not know her in NXT, you probably didn't know her in the main roster. Why? Because she was wearing a mask. Because that stupid faction were wearing masks. What the hell? Now I do want to know the name of that faction. It was like, was it Retribution? Was that the name of it? That might have been the name of that stupid faction, Retribution. Maybe not. I don't know. But anyway, that faction sucks. And she was wearing a mask. So, if you didn't follow her in her NXT career, her coming out, yeah, Retribution. That's it, Esa Benny. That's right. That faction was so stupid. But anyway, man, she was wearing a mask because a lot of them they all kind of looked like characters from Mad Max Road Warrior. Konali. Yeah, he was the main guy. That's the guy who would actually show his face. But yeah, the Retribution, they all would kind of like look like characters from Book of Eli or Mad Max. That's how they would kind of look, and she would be wearing a mask. And that was her time in the main roster. So if you didn't know her from NXT, you're probably not gonna really know who she was on the main roster. And she didn't really do much with them whack ass names. Yeah, with those stupid names, dog. All those names were dumb, and that's why I was just like, okay. And they got rid of her, man. So she comes back on Monday Night Raw. She takes the hoodie off, and nobody really gives her a big pop. I was like, all right, feed me, homie, because this girl is badass, dog. She's all that in a bag of chips, Holmes. And I'm like, hell yeah. Hell yeah, this girl's gonna light it up. Right? But like I said, unless you followed her on NXT, you probably don't know her because her main roster run had her with a mask, and it wasn't long, and it was part of a stupid, dumb, sorry ass faction. What's up, Vanessa? So I am interested to see what happens now with the OC. I'm wondering what's going to go on with Beth Phoenix and Edge. At some point, they're going to have to come back, and Beth Phoenix and Rhea Ripley are going to have to go at it. I don't know. Maybe they save that for WrestleMania, but if they do save that for WrestleMania, is Rhea Ripley champion at that time? Because if not, then, WrestleMania is already pretty jam-packed to be having that one-on-one match. And if you do have those two ladies go at it, I want to see it one-on-one. I don't want to see it on, a mixed 6-man tag match. It's got to be one-on-one. So, but hey, man, Mia Yim is back. I'm happy for that. I'm glad for that. And for those who don't know Mia Yim, stay tuned. Hopefully, they let her do some action on her own. It doesn't always have to be tag team matches. It doesn't always have to. Cool. If she's going to be part of the OC, that's cool. That's freedom. But let her do her own thing as well. It does not always have to be in a mixed tag team match. It doesn't always have to be there with Gallows and Anderson and the Styles. Let her do her own thing and yeah, participate with the OC. I'm okay with that, but let her do her own thing. She is badass, and hopefully one day I could see her in the ring with Charlotte Flair. But with that, Austin Theory, no longer Mr. Money in the Bank. I'll leave it up to you guys. If you guys had to decide right now, does Austin Theory have a great, bright future in front of him? Or does he become the modern day Brooklyn Brawler? War Games at Survivor Series. Yeah, man. And you know what, Benny? I'm going to be real with you, Holmes. I kind of want those things to stay on NXT just so NXT can stay. You start bringing this stuff up. You start bringing the Fight Pit and War Games. You start bringing it to the main roster, then it takes away from NXT, homie. You know, like I want this stuff on NXT. So it's like, hey, this is what makes NXT stand out. Yeah, it may not be the main roster, but this is what you find at NXT. The fact that they're bringing this stuff up to the main roster, I'm not really for it, man. I wanted to stay on NXT to keep NXT, just to keep that prestigious to it, man, just to make it stand out on its own. But yeah, they're gonna go ahead and bring War Games at Survivor Series. So we'll see, man. We need a traditional Survivor Series match like the old days. I agree. I agree. I completely 100% agree, man. Let's do it. 5-on-5. Let's go, man. Elimination type of tag team match. Let's make it happen. One for the fellas, one for the females. Let's go. Got to make that happen. So again, I'm throwing the question out there. When Austin Theory loses Money in the Bank in a very bad way, and he does not even cash in on the main title, um, does he have a bright career future ahead of him, or does he become a jobber? Remember, his daddy's not here anymore. And I'm very, very happy to see Mia Yim back, man. Congratulations to that girl. And I cannot wait to see her get in the ring and do her thing. Shout outs to all my junkies out there. Cholo Trucker Wrestling Rehab. I'll catch you guys on the next one.